Okay, the last little bit here at the bottom of page 3 is a quick review of percentages. You all met the prerequisite to get in this class, but doesn't mean that you remember everything you needed to get into this class. And percentages are going to come and go and be thrown around like you know them like the back of your hand all semester long. So we're going to do a quick review right now. I'm going to go through number 3 with you, and then we're going to see if you can handle number 4 on your own after I do number 3. Some of you already know how to do it, and that's great. So when you look at 3A, AOL did a survey on their website and asked how much stock do you put in long-range weather forecasts. And 38,410 people chose to respond. Write that number down. And in 3A, 5% answered a lot. How many actual responses were there that answered a lot?
1,920.5.
How'd you get that?
I multiplied it by 0.05
What is the it?
by the percentage.
Okay, so she took 0.05 and multiplied it by 38,410. Let's just pause for a second there. Why do we multiply? Do we know why? We just do?
When you multiply it, because a percentage is not a whole number, technically, it's the 0.05. So you would multiply, which reduces it.
So the multiplication reduces it down. One of the tricks I like to remember is that in math, whenever you see the word of, it means multiply. So if you want 5% of something, that's 5% times that. If you want half of something, you take half times that number. That's one little hint here. What else did we do besides multiply? Something else happened to what I wrote down there. Yes?
You turn a percentage into a decimal.
All right, turn the percent into a decimal. It was 5%, but we wrote down 0.05. Well, where did that come from? Out of 100? So 5% really means 5 out of 100. So you could divide that, and it would come out to be 0.05. What's the shortcut to go from here to here?
Move the decimals.
Move the decimal over 2 places?
Yeah.
So any of that, hopefully you remember one or more of those techniques. So that's where the 0.05 came from. We multiply it by 38,410. What do we get?
1920.5.
1920.5.
So there's a half a person floating around somewhere.
Yeah, he's worried about a half a person floating around there somewhere.
Yeah.
This is the exact calculation though. You'll see a problem like this on the lab and on the online homework, I believe, that says find the exact value. This is the exact value of this percentage. And then the follow-up question is, could this be the answer? The answer is no, because the question was how many people answered a lot. So what do?
You can railroad.
I round it. And we round it to the nearest whole number because we're talking about people, so we round it because that's a 5 or more, it rounds up to 1921. So 1,921 people said a lot in this survey. Kind of remember a little bit of percentages? You okay there? About part B. Part B is a different question. We have 18,053 who said very little or none, and we want to know what percent said very little or none. Yes, ma'am.
About 47%.
Okay, I don't know how you got that though. Yes.
So you take 1853 and then you divide that by 38,410.
So we take the 18,053, dividing it by the 38,410. How do I know which number goes where?
38,000 is the whole.
Who said that? I heard the voice. Go ahead.
Because it's 38,000 the whole.
This is the whole, this is the entire group. The large group, the whole thing always goes on the bottom. And this is just part of it. So this is some part out of the whole. And so we divide that. If you get to use your calculator as a phone today, I'm okay with it today only. When you divide that, I want to know exactly what you get. without rounding.
0.4700078,105.
How many zeros?
3.
7, 8,
105.
105. And depending on your calculator, you might even have more digits after that. Some calculators can show more. We agree with her calculation? Yeah?
Are we allowed to to round that?
So that's a good question. On my tests and on the online homework, it will always ask you to round to a certain place. So for example, this question might have said, what percent was that, and round it to 2 decimal places. So the first thing we would do is we would turn it into a percent first, and then we would round it. So to turn it into a percent, I'm going to take the shortcut we just talked about. I'm going to move the decimal over 2 places. So if I did that, this is now a percent. And maybe I'll say round to 3 decimal places. When you're on my stat lab doing your homework, there's always little blue words underneath the box that tells you where it wants you to round. When I say 3 decimal places, it means 3 places after the decimal, which is this place right here. How do I round to there? Take the number after, and then decide whether to make this go up by 1 or just leave it alone. Since this is a 5 or bigger, and this one goes up by 1, so my answer would be 47.001%.
Okay.
You will always be told where to round. And if you're not told, that means I don't care. Round it where you like. As long as you round it correctly, I'll take it. Okay, try number 4 without me. Can you get it? Pull that door shut real quick. I'll get into number 4. So if your whole grade depends on your answer to this question, who gets an A? Anybody think they got an A? I got 1 A, 2, 3. Only 3 people think they got this one right? 4? 5? We're going slowly. What's the answer if I don't make your whole grade depend on it? In case you're wrong. 312.32?
I said about 312.
About 312 adults?
Yeah,
Yeah. Why do we have to make it 312?
because we need the exact number.
Has to be an exact number of adults, right?
Yeah, because there's no such thing as like a half a person or a quarter of a person or something like that.
And we didn't round this one up. What was it before we rounded 312.3?
32.
Right, so we rounded, just left it where the way it was?